show you? Those fiend junkies over at Vault 3 been...
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
My master treats me well. He has given me permission to rest here. I am expecting a child.
Sleep softly, sleep, and let the world go by.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight. And I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. More news for you. A package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now, that's a delivery service you can count on. Also in the headlines, word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
I love you. Yes, I love. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell. When an irresistible force such as you meets an old and immovable object like me, you can bet just as sure as you live, someone's gotta give, someone's gotta give, someone's gotta give. Smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine. Don't say no, 'cause I insist. Somewhere, somehow, someone's gonna get kissed. So on guard, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? Fight, 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 fight with all of our might. Chances are some heavenly star-spangled night we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
This is Radio New Vegas, and I'm your host, Mr. New Vegas. And in case you're wondering if you've come to the right place, you have. We've got some news for you coming right up. Unconfirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. Moving on. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. You know, I think all
I'm very
news,
happy
whether
here.
it's good or bad,
My
brings
master
us
treats
closer
me
together. Don't you? Got some Dean Martin coming up, talking about the greatest feeling in the world. Love. Ain't that a kick in the head? Sure is. Dino, it sure is.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like
Excuse me.
the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Ain't that a my hand keeps if this is just a day in
Retribution.
my life. Beautiful life, sun shining up to spread It's just like the fella said.
Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head.
Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go just to keep grinning.
Move along.
If this is just to be given, my life's gonna be
Thank you, sir.
beautiful. She's telling me we'll be wet. She's picked up a king-size bed. I couldn't feel any better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick. Oh, ain't love a kick?
Tell me quick,
Ain't love a kick in the head?
Well, hello, sugar.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about
So,
gamma radiation.
Benny has been handled, and you've recovered the platinum chip. Let's have it.
Head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on.
I'll be happy to satisfy your every curiosity once.
A mob of escaped convicts after organizing an impromptu
Our terms were clear. Now that you have the chip in your possession, any attempt to renegotiate payment would be tantamount to blackmail.
place, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen next. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out.
Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious, so very dear. Decades of hiring salvagers out west to search for this little relic in the ruins of a place called Sunnyvale. Back then, anyway. That's where the chip was printed, on October 22nd, 2077. It was to have been hand-delivered to me here at the Lucky 38 the next day. But the bombs fell first. Suffice it to say, the delivery was never made. Some things are more easily shown than told. Take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level, and you'll see what I mean. Don't worry, you'll like what you see. We have much to accomplish, you and I. Step closer to the demonstration area, if you would. I expect you're well familiar with my Securitrons by now. The titanium alloy housing that protects its electronic core deflects small arms and shrapnel easily enough. Its X-25 Gatling laser, produced to spec by Westinghouse Inc., is deadly against soft targets at medium range. And for close-range suppression or crowd control, the Securitron is armed with a 9mm submachine gun. All of this you probably already knew. What you did not know is that these are the Securitron's secondary weapons. All this time, my Securitrons have had to get by running the Mark I operating system, which lacked software drivers for their primary weapons. Today, with the delivery of the Platinum chip, all that changes. Behold, for the first time, Securitrons running the Mark II OS. The M235 missile launcher gives the Securitron the ability to engage ground and air targets at significantly longer ranges. And a rapid-fire G-28 grenade launcher ensures the Securitron is deadly in close-range engagements. The software upgrade also includes drivers for the Securitron's highly sophisticated on-board auto-repair systems. Altogether, the Mark II software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. city of New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. Return to the penthouse now. We have much to discuss.
Trips to the basement are rarely so educational, don't you think? I've since broadcast the upgrade to every Securitron in range of my transmitters, and I must say, it's causing quite a stir down on the Strip. Why would I want to go to war against the NCR? They're my best customers. If their leaders weren't scheming to steal Vegas out from under me, I'd have no troubles with the NCR at all. To secure the future of New Vegas, I must have your assistance. The work ahead is dangerous, but you weather danger well. What did... By my calculations, his death will affect the shape of the battle for Hoover Dam minimally, if at all. The Legion's aggression will outlive Caesar. Indeed, they'll try to take the dam as a tribute to his memory. Given a year, they'd have him deified. But by then, the Legion will be breaking down, riven by internal conflicts, a monster consuming itself. It's irrelevant. In the short term, the Legion is still monster enough that defeating it will make me look powerful. What else did you want? That's because he ceased to be relevant when you recovered the platinum chip. Revenge doesn't interest me. Progress. Sorry to deny you a moment of primate triumph, but you'll have to go elsewhere to sound your barbaric yawp. What else did you... I've resurrected Vegas, spirit intact. What I need now is the ability to enforce, not just against Caesar's Legion, by the way. In fact, the NCR is a more... to enforce. Years ago, when I detected NCR scouts roaming the Mojave, I could tell from their uniforms that these were no mere tribesmen. I knew it was only a matter of time before an army appeared to take control of the dam, and I knew my Securitrons wouldn't be enough to oppose them. And so I recruited the three families. Vegas belongs to me because I mustered enough strength to bring the NCR. Indeed it was, and still is, but not with... Would Kimball and Oliver have traded the lives of hundreds of soldiers for absolute control? They weren't afraid of me. They were afraid of Caesar, that attacking me would leave them vulnerable to a legion. And so they negotiated, not out of the kindness of their hearts, as they try to make it seem, because the calculus of power left no other choice. NCR forces were permitted to occupy Hoover Dam and establish a military base at McCarran Airport. Well, it used to be. They recognized my sovereignty over the Vegas Strip and agreed to supply electricity and water once their enemies were written into the treaty were provisions that the NCR do nothing to prevent its soldiers and civilians. That's how I harness the NCR to my endeavor. Their occupation has been the salient issue is that they will go to war with me if given. There's just one reason why the NCR hasn't contrived some outrage to justify invading the Strip. Caesar's the final battle between those two armies is fast approaching. What else? General Oliver's strategy, or tunnel vision, as I like to call it, has been to mass troop. He wants to outfight the Legion in a straightforward slugging match, and then, when they rout, pursue and destroy them. A crushing, decisive victory of this sort would overshadow the tactical ingenuity of Chief Hanlon's defense 4 years. A good deal should be obvious to you by now. I won't spoil the rest. What of it? I enjoy them. There's something about a little diorama set inside a glass dome that, if you run across any out in the wastes, turn... Whatever. Hoover Dam, of course. A hydroelectric. The NCR had it up and running at 50% capacity within a year of occupying the dam. By treaty, New Vegas receives 5% of its output. What else? It was a place of splendor. As magnificent as today's strip may seem, it's but a shadow of the neon paradise that... I grew up not far from here, and though I traveled the old world extensively, I never found another place like it. By 2065, I deemed it a mathematical certainty that an atomic war would devastate the Earth within 15 years. Every projection I ran could... I knew I couldn't save the world, nor did I care to, but I could save Vegas, and in the I set to work immediately. I thought I had plenty of time to prepare. On the day of the Great War, 77 atomic warheads targeted Las Vegas and its surrounding area. My networked mainframes were able to predict and force transmit disarm code subsets to 59 warheads, neutralizing them before laser cannons mounted on the roof of the Lucky 38 destroyed another 9 warheads. The rest got through, though none hit the city itself. A suboptimal performance, admittedly. If only the Platinum chip had arrived a day sooner. The Platinum chip was printed in Sunnyvale, California on October 22nd, 2077. The day it was to have been delivered by courier the following afternoon. But by then, the chip contained vital software upgrades, but not just for my Securitrons. Every aspect of the missile defense grid would have been upgraded. Given that I had to make do with buggy software, the outcome could have been worse. Software glitches set off a cascade of system crashes. I had to take the Lucky 38's reactor offline. For nearly 5 years, I battled power outages and more system crashes until I finally managed to reboot my data core with an older version of the... I spent the next few decades in a veritable coma, but I survived, obviously. What else did you? Very much. The next step will require you to infiltrate Caesar's camp at Fort... The
Helios 1 solar power plant remains dormant despite...
I'm not surprised.
...to reactivate the facility. The chief scientist at the plant vowed to fix the problem, blaming it on an...
Here, take the Platinum chip again. Upon arrival at the fort, it's likely that you'll be searched and the chip taken from you. Don't worry, it will...
On a sharp decline in New Vegas. The report credits the decline of the population of fiends in the area. In possibly related news, local chem dealers report an overall decrease in their standard of living. And that's the news. Here's Bing Crosby reminding us of those times when you absolutely have to kiss the person you love. Something's gotta give. Up next.
When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again. Boss is waiting. Enjoy.
Excuse me, but are you the courier who caused all of that trouble in the tops? Oh, great. The followers of the apocalypse, well, some of us anyway, have been interested in Mr. House's technology. Of course, no one else is allowed inside the Lucky 38, so no one knows what's going on. Right. We just want to find out what sort of technology Mr. House has used to stay alive. It could be of great benefit to the people we try to help. Ah, I see. I suppose I can give you some medical supplies for your efforts. I assure you they will be worth plenty of cap. Great! I'll have them... Here, take this packet sniffer. It'll allow us to intercept data. You might have to manually remove the encryption from his...
Hey.
enjoy the casino. Goodbye.
We'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. I've got news for you. Caesar's Legion continues to fortify its position in Nelson, where it remains a constant concern for Camp Forlorn Hope and the nearby town of Novak. One more story for you. Refugees at Bitter Springs are giving startling accounts of the legate known as Lanius, who is said to be Caesar's top field commander. One refugee told us the legate took over an underperforming squad of troops by beating its commander to death in full view of everyone. The legate then ordered a tenth of his own force be killed by the other 9/10. And you thought your boss was a pain. That news was brought to you by the Tops Casino. You'll dig us, baby. We're the Tops. Hey, New Vegas, have you ever said you love someone when it wasn't quite true? Sure you have. But you shouldn't, because it's a sin to tell a lie.
Another kill to my name. Come on. Another kill to my name.
It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. Yes, I do.
I see you reached your destination safely. It's a facility I built many years before you were born. You might think of it as a barracks. You'll understand soon. As you know, the Platinum chip upgrades my Securitron's operating software. Well, the Securitrons policing the Strip are a fraction of the total number manufactured. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control it. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking.
When you say I love you,
My army will do what an army does best. Defend territory from invaders and maintain order. I like to think you have enough sense to do the right thing. The rewards for doing so are immense, as are the punishments for not doing so.
Tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment. Patrons of the Ultralux are questioning whether its pricey restaurant, the Gourmand, is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. In other news, we're hearing rumors that Caesar may have been assassinated by an unknown party. It is currently not known how the assassin was able to evade security. Once again, Caesar dead. A shocking turn of events whose impact is anyone's guess at this point. And that's the news. More classics coming right up for you, so stay tuned.
To the town of Alapria rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his It was early in the morning when he moved into the town. He came riding from the south side, slow looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came whispered from his lips, and he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. In the town there lived an outlaw by the name of Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead.
Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 38 so we can discuss next steps. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was in Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead. And he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red. After Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger.
Well, howdy, partner. Good.
Big iron on his head. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death. About to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play.
Welcome to...
And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas Red had not cleared leather for a bullet barely ripped. And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip. Big iron, when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
On my last legs here.
The foundation is laid. My Securitrons on the Strip are upgraded, and those at the fort ready for action. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the attitudes of some lesser groups while we wait for Caesar's Legion. Outside New Vegas, at what was once called Nellis Air Force Base, resides an unusual tribe known as the Boomers. They are, shall we say, aggressively reclusive. They have several howitzers they fire at anyone who dares approach. Artillery of this sort has a range of several miles. If it's going to fire on Hoover Dam, I want it firing at my targets. If not, then I want to make sure that the Boomers don't sign similar treaties to fire their guns in support of the NCR or Caesar's Legion. Use extreme caution when approaching the base. Their firepower is considerable. Recently, one of my roaming Securitrons observed a man near the base studying the pattern of its artillery fire. Maybe he's learned something. Any progress? I'd rather you just dealt with the Boomer. I recommend following the Securitron's instructions. Its programming is strict, and I don't have... What else did... New Vegas is more than a city. It's the remedy to mankind. The city's economy is a blast furnace in which can be forged the steel of a new rail line running straight to a new... What is the NCR? A society of people desperate to experience comfort, ease, luxury. With all that money pouring in, give me 20 years and I'll reignite the high technology development sectors. 50 years and I'll have people in orbit. 100 years and my colony ships will be heading for the stars to search for planets unpolluted by the wrath and folly of a bygone generation. I prefer the term autocrat. I would rule as a chief executive. I would not answer to a board of directors or any other entity. Nothing to impede progress. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the window. My judgment. I have no interest in abusing others, just as I have no interest in legislating or otherwise dictating what people do in their private time. Nor have I any interest in being worshipped as some kind of machine god messiah. I am impervious to such corrupting ambition. But autocracy? Firm control in the hands of a technological and economic visionary? Yes, that Vegas shall have. What else did... One of the followers of the apocalypse, I'm sure. They're curious about me. Good luck planting a surveillance device here in the Lucky 38 without my knowing about it. What else? They occupied Nellis Air Force Base a little over 50 years ago. One of my Securitrons got some video of their arrival and then exploded. Odds are they were vault dwellers. That's everything I know about them. Goodbye.
Patrons of the Ultralux are questioning whether its pricey restaurant, the Gourmand, is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. That's the news. This is Mr. New Vegas filling in for Mr. New Vegas. Now, I'd like to play one of my favorite...
Hey, if you've been able to bug Mr. House... Okay, no rush, but...
Mad about the boy. I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy.